Alright guys, this is Jace here, and I have a new special guest that's going to be doing quite a few co-op campaigns with me. Is there any code name you want to go by?
No, it's okay.
Okay, this is Eric.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm Jace. And we just beat probably one of my favorite co-op games of all time. It's pretty up there with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Contra. The very first Contra. Granted, you will be able to see that we use the Konami code because we're bitches. Yep.
Oh, so true.
And first off, before we get into the questions, have you played this game before? Like, any childhood stories or personal memories of the game? Or
Oh, yes, many a times. Honestly, one of the top games that I owned back when I owned a Nintendo.
Oh, I used to play this with my Uncle Scott a lot when he used to come over for Thanksgiving. Because he was the youngest out of all my aunts and uncles.
Oh,
so he was kind of like still into video games.
Yeah.
So I remember one year I had the chicken pox. So my fingers were itching like crazy and I couldn't play video games, but I was like, I needed to play video games with my Uncle Scott. And I like holding the controller and my fingers were itching. I was like, no, I gotta play video games.
Oh my god, that
and
horrible.
I played Bad Dudes.
Oh.
And I played Contra with him. I'll do Bad Dudes at some point because that was actually a pretty good game. But
that was crazy game though. Holy shit! I remember trying to play that.
It was pretty hard.
Yeah.
Luckily for me, back when I was a little kid, I had a Game Genie.
Who didn't? Come on. You weren't a real gamer unless you had one.
Now, is there any story that sticks out in your mind from Contra when you were a kid that you just kind of recall off the top of your head?
Not really. I was like a solo game player most of my
So you
childhood.
played Contra by yourself?
Oh yeah.
Ah.
Most games I played, they were by myself.
Aww. Made me feel sad. But I remember Contra was probably one of the first Nintendo games that I had and probably stayed in my library. Even though my games would cycle out, I would do trades with friends. Contra never left my library.
Oh, right. Definitely.
I loved it too much and it was just too much fun. I loved playing with my friends. Let's get on. I'm getting a little too far. So let's get started. For you, how were the controls? Were they easy to pick up and learn, or were they awkward or hard to get used to?
Screw that. Oh god. First few minutes into playing, I'm like, what? Yeah. I didn't even know where the jump button was. I'm like, no. Yeah, well, you know what? You get confused sometimes.
What button? A and B? I don't know what to do.
Sorry, jeez.
Yeah.
Like they say, there should just be one button for everything.
Well, new generation of games do. Ever play Final Fantasy 13? X, 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 X,
Yeah,
X,
see?
X, X.
Perfect. Perfect. That's all I need.
It's like a movie. You just have to do extra work.
There you go.
The X button.
There you go.
So you didn't have any. What were your biggest concerns with the controls? Because at first you were having a little bit of an issue, but it seemed like you got it back pretty quick.
After that, I don't know, feeling like an idiot, and then the play was just smooth.
Yeah.
Just go on from there.
And Eric's playing, and he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. He's like pushing buttons, and I'm looking at his normal attack, and it's like 5 bolts right in a row, and I'm like, how is he pushing that fast? I'm like, oh, Eric, you're pushing the turbo buttons, man. He's like, what?
I just figured I'm that good. And I'm like, oh, this button makes it.
No,
so
use the
much...
2 bottom one. Oh, this makes it so much easier.
This makes it so much better. Oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah, for me, Contra's Contra. There's the jump, there's the shoot, and you can shoot in all 8 directions.
Yes.
I don't know why that was so hard for... That's getting into the next question, I'll just move on. Actually, no, that would be considered controls. Because you can aim in all 4 directions using the D-pad.
Yeah.
And you're going to be you can shoot in all 8 directions. And that rolls us into gameplay, where after getting used to the controls, how was the gameplay? Was it fun and entertaining, or did it quickly become tedious or not enjoyable?
Yeah, it was fun, because you're just like, oh, shit over here, no, don't, oh, god, no.
That's a very good random explanation.
It's true, because you're just like, shoot, duck, no, jump, turn around, shoot.
Contra's it's very much a game that you need to be paying attention about what's going on all the time. And that's what I like about it. When I was a kid, I used the Konami code like we did this time, but I would just plow through it, knowing I had I think it was 3 continues with 30 lives each.
Yeah.
This time I said to you before we started, I was like, let's try to pretend that we don't have this many lives.
Yeah.
And that almost made it more fun. We were having to dodge all the bullets, taking our time.
We were definitely watching each other too, you know?
Yeah. We couldn't. We had to make sure we weren't jumping up and making the screen move up to kill our friends.
It's okay. I got that after the first
I forgive you.
Jumps. Like, oh crap, that's right.
But just that in general just made it more fun. It felt like I was like, oh man, well. And for the first 2 levels, I think I died once. I think you killed me. Screen scroll.
Yeah, I screen killed you.
But I mean, in all honesty, it was really fun, and I enjoyed trying to make it seem like we didn't have that many lives.
Yeah. I
did it because I wanted to capture as much footage as I could for this review. It's not even a review; it's a co-op campaign. But I wanted to get as much footage as I could, so that's typically what I do. I try to make the game as easy as I can, but I try to give me and my friends a handicap. If I made it too easy, I would be like, pretend we don't have that many.
Yeah.
Really try hard to avoid projectiles.
Try hard to make it look like it's not that easy.
Yeah, and it's not. If you really are trying to conserve your lives, it really does become a challenge, and that's sometimes where the most fun came from the game. Oh, I know.
Totally.
Speaking of gameplay, was there any friendly fire? If no, would the game have benefited from it? If yes, would the game have been better without it? There was no friendly fire.
Oh, thank God. This is one of the... If they had done that, honestly, I would be like, screw this shit. I'd just be like, put the pedal down, walk away. I'd be like, no.
Yeah, because
no way.
It's hard enough to avoid the enemy projectiles.
I know, right? There'd be no way you could.
And you're running in line with your friend.
Yeah.
So one person's always going to be behind the other. You can't have that person not shooting.
Unless somehow you have in sync running perfectly, which is damn near impossible. One step forward, dead. And then that guy comes back and you're already starting to shoot.
Dead.
Just a bad domino effect.
This game would not have benefited from friendly fire at all. And if they did implement that, I would never want to play this game.
Right? I'd play it once and be like,
yep, done. So yeah, in conclusion of that, I just don't think it would have been a very bad idea to put friendly fire in that. And people would be playing it by themselves. It's easier to play with just one person. Now having just played it, do you feel that the game should have been longer or shorter for any reason, such as the gameplay slowly become boring and tedious, or just wanting more of the game?
Honestly, I'd say more.
You think
wanting it to be longer? Honestly, yeah, definitely.
We got to the end pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, we were using the Konami code, so usually
True, yeah.
It would take you longer if you were trying not to die on that stupid level of all the fire. But
yeah.
we'll get to that. But in all honesty, us trying not to lose lives, we still wrecked through that game pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it did feel really short.
Yeah.
But it's based off of the arcade version, which I don't know. I've never actually played the arcade version, which is weird. I think it might have been shorter, and some things were changed in it compared to the Nintendo one. But I can't imagine them not adding more levels into it, because they did the same thing with the regular Nintendo version of the Ninja Turtles arcade game. They added extra levels into it. They added extra bosses into it for the Nintendo release, and I found that was a lot more awesome. I have played the Contra arcade version, but not very far, and it's not that. The Nintendo one's so much better.
Yeah.
So you feel that it should have been longer? You think?
Oh, definitely.
I agree. I completely agree. I just can't believe we got to the end that quickly.
But we're just that good.
With Super C, another game that we're going to be doing, Super C is the sequel to Contra, and it basically uses the same game engine. They could almost have put it into Contra 1, and that would have made it a nice long game. But I mean, I guess asking someone with 3 lives to get to the end of a double game like that.
Yeah, they're kind of pushing it. Yeah, it depends though. If they had that, and then later on somehow not re-release it, but for the second one, like added that all together and just like tweak like your lives a little bit. Like say you start out, you have like 5 altogether, and then you go through all of that.
Like a extended play.
Yeah,
So you get
like,
a couple extra lives to try to do it. Maybe an extra continue.
Yeah, I bet you then that would have been. People would be like, "Oh my god, no way! This is awesome!"
It's really, I would say that would probably, that would have been great. And I can't wait to get to Super C because I really enjoyed playing this one. Alright, moving on. Now that you've played this game with me, do you feel that you would in the future pick this game up again just to play it by yourself?
Yes. Yes.
Like just sitting here being bored, be like, man, I'm gonna play some Contra.
Like a shooter, it'd be like, why not go classic style? Definitely.
Yeah.
That is definitely, you know, your classic shooter.
I honestly probably would never play this game by myself.
No?
No.
Well, I'm used to it. I grew up doing it, so I understand, yeah.
I mean, I did for a little bit, like the first couple levels, I'd play them and it's just like, this is boring. I want someone else to play this with, because I'm used to that. I grew up with playing it with all these, with a bunch of different people. That was like part of the challenge, was to play with another person and have them steal your fucking lives.
I honestly admit, I didn't start having, honestly, like somebody else probably till, oh my god, I was like 13, 14 years old. No lie.
Really?
Yeah, like my mom and my sister weren't really interested in them at all, and I pretty much play games myself. I usually had games back in the day beat within like a day. Honestly,
were you a renting fiend?
No, I bought.
You
like
bought
hardcore
games? Man,
bought
crazy.
out. Yeah,
that was an expensive habit to have back then.
Well, actually not really, because back then...
Hold on, we'll get into that in Final Thoughts. We can talk about more about that stuff. Well, what about if you had someone sitting around, and you had a friend over? Would you play this game with a second person just for something to do? Like, say you had another friend over, you guys were like, oh man, what do you want to do? Do you want to play Call of Duty? Nah. You want to play Contra?
Like, yeah, let's go, like, old school. Let's play some Contra.
Yeah.
They're like, what's that? And I'd be like, are you serious? You've never heard of it? That'd be the one thing, one of these days, if you go, they're like, what's that? I'm like,
but
you have to.
That would almost make me excited. You never play Contra? Let's play Contra.
Yeah, right.
And I'd be like, let's experience this.
Let me open up your mind to
let's
pave the way.
Burst your gaming virginity of Contra. Alright, moving on. Wow, we're already at Final Thoughts? I got to that really quick. I guess this game is kind of short compared to a lot of the games I've done so far. Final Thoughts. This can be about anything. The music, things you thought that were funny or annoying when we were playing this game session we just played. Just anything about the game. Like, anything.
Yeah, don't get me started on annoying. Level with fire? Yeah, wrong. No.
That level was where we really started to use our Konami code lives.
Yeah, to the point where it's just like, dude, pull me through, okay? If you make it, I don't care. That was ridiculously horrible. I mean, every time I go to jump, fire there. Okay, still got... Oh, look, fire seems to, like, it's like a freaking bug zapper or something.
Yeah,
oh,
man.
Look, fire, dead.
It almost had a mind of its own, but I believe the developers kind of figured out we would... Because what happens is you jump near it, and then you jump back, the fire goes down.
Yeah.
And they'd expect you to do that once, and then you'd be like, okay, I made it go down, I'm going to jump across. But they have a program to do it twice. It goes down, down. So you're like, okay, it's going. You jump again, dead.
Yeah, and then in those certain spots there where you're like, oh, perfectly fine, you jump over, huge flame down the whole
huge
level.
Flame down the whole screen. I remember, this is the first time I've ever actually kind of paid attention to the last level with those teeth in the walls, and they were spitting out these little fuzzy things. It's like trying to kill me with pollen.
I know, right?
My allergies are gonna. You're stuffy.
Death by pollen.
Stuffy nose. The evil aliens' plans. We found them out.
And then those, whatever the hell those were supposed to be in the end, it's like totally reminds you of like aliens.
The face huggers.
Definitely.
Yeah, your kid was watching us. He's like, scorpions.
Right?
Get the scorpions.
It's like, Dad, get the scorpions.
It's like, I don't wanna. Keep them away from me, and then we blow up the heart, and then the game's done. And in all honesty, that was an awesome. I love blowing. I remember that stuck in my head for all time. Just blowing up the heart of the alien, because it looked so much like a real heart. Like it's.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy crap. And then you blew up the heart. Oh, it was so crazy.
It's crazy. It's like an island, and yet there's a heart.
Yeah.
It's kind of like.
Well, we went inside like an alien, I think. Like,
Yes.
and
yeah.
we went inside the alien, and then there's all these other alien things in it. I like the fact that reading the credits, like, you've defeated the Red Falcon. It's like the aliens called themselves the Red Falcon.
Right? They're an organized group.
I'm sure someone will correct me saying, it's like, well, no, the Red Falcon's this and this and this. But, like, reading the credits, I'm just like, it just sounds like the aliens call themselves the Red Falcon.
I was like, wait, are we the Red... Then I was like, are we the Red Falcons? He's like, no. I was like, oh, okay.
It's the aliens. Oh, man, they just came down in an instant. It's like, we're here, we're the aliens. We are known as the Red Falcon.
Lame.
Lame.
What name's not copywritten so we don't get in trouble? Red Falcon. Okay, we are the Red Falcons.
Isn't that a football team? No. Also, I want to comment on the music. The music of Contra is amazing.
It is. It's upbeat and it goes perfectly with like, each level.
And as I said before when I was talking about the music from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, you could go up to the... You guys that are watching, you could go up to the YouTube bar at the top and type in Contra Metal. And it would just... There'd be metal covers of Contra music. There would be rock versions, techno versions, remixes. Yeah. You can basically do that with almost every game. But Contra, there's very few games... I love video game music. But I like the kind that aren't just like, I'm gonna get crap for this, but like Enix, they have some good music, but some of them is just like very generic sounding. But I like stuff like RPG music, the old RPG music for like Super Mario RPG or Final Fantasy III. That music is really well done on a system that can barely make music. Yeah. From beeps and bloops to music.
Yeah. To steady music that really goes with the gameplay that you're doing. Especially like when you're entering in for like when we go in after the first level there and you go into the second part, the machine. And it's got that upbeat.
Oh, the
yeah, it is going with, it's really going with your characters as they're going up through.
Yeah, I like that. In the
every time, the levels. Yeah.
Every time you beat a level, I love that. The first Contra game, I don't remember much from the second one, or really any of the other ones.
Yeah.
The first one is the one that I remember most of the music from.
Yep.
And it's amazing what people could do with such limited technology to make music. What else? The game's just overall fun. I just love it. It's just a classic game that I'll never forget, and I hope future consoles coming out. I really hope that's I'm pretty sure Nintendo might have released it on the Virtual Console. You could probably pick this game up on the Virtual Console, maybe. If it is up there, it's probably going to be 300 Wii points probably. But I really hope with future consoles they re-release this. The Nintendo version, the arcade version's not that.
It'd be really cool if they updated it but left it as a side scroller.
You mean base? What they released new Contra games, so that uses the Contra 3 engine.
Yeah. I played the PlayStation 2 Contra game. That was something else. I was like, oh my god, that was crazy.
I remember reading about it. I remember there were some newer Contra games that were pretty bad, and I heard some that were pretty good.
Like the one from the PS2, that was the overhead play.
Overhead play? I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments what it is. I'll check. But where are we at? Okay, yeah, we're hitting that point. Yeah, well, I really hope you enjoyed playing this game with me, Eric.
Oh, definitely. Always.
I really enjoyed playing these. This is the reason I started. I've said this a couple times. The reason I started the co-op campaign was basically a reason for me to go and play these old games with my friends. Gives me a reason to be like, let's play Contra. Because a lot of people are just like, why?
It's like Sheldon. Vintage game night. Let's go.
But, alright, well thanks Eric for playing with me. And if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. I really need those likes and subscribes. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's a new URL in the splash page here. jacemedia.site90.com. That's where all my content's going. It's always going to be going up on basementkings.com, but if you want just my stuff, go to that website. and that's where all my stuff is. So if you feel, you can sign up and post on there. But alright, well, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next campaign. And that's it! BasementKings.com